YouTube, welcome back. This time with a highly desired gun, an all-time classic and, to be honest, maybe one of the strongest guns in the game, that can carry you from your early research to the end of the game. Echo can be researched as your third gun, so it's an easy pick. But it will become a monster once you complement it with the best spells and gear. If you pair it with Striga, you have a combo that can be used for the whole game. I was waiting to release this video because we always had rings for dashing, while Echo required us to slide instead of dash. But with the last update we got the Meteor ring, so this is a no-brainer. Let's have a look at Echo's Mysteria and how I plan to build around it. The first Mysteria says that pellets have a delayed explosion that applies burn. Lethal shots push enemies back with great force. So we get a primary source of burn, which will make the enemies take more damage, as we know. Lethal pellet explosion has more range and applies burn to nearby enemies. So we gain an AoE from killing enemies with a lethal pellet explosion, and this will cause all the enemies around Echo to burn, taking additional damage. And then the third Mysteria, and this is the funny one, or the interesting one actually, sliding reloads 2 shells and temporarily increases damage. So we have burn that increases damage, and we have the sliding Mysteria from Echo that also increases damage. And this is the plan to build around that. Speaking of the loadout, let's talk about the best combo for Echo then. As our secondary weapon, I chose Hypnosis. If you find yourself in a situation where range is needed or when you want to deal large amounts of damage, you can never go wrong with Hypnosis. And Whisper is another nice demonic weapon because it stuns enemy, and stun will also affect the enemies as they take more damage when they're stunned. For our spells, I chose Fire Breath. It will be our second source of burn, so we get more damage out of Echo, and Fire Breath deals additional damage to already burning enemies, so those two complement each other. But you could also go with Shockwave, since Shockwave will stun nearby enemies, which then take more damage when you shoot them with Echo. But in this case I chose Fire Breath. And to make even more use of Echo's second Mysteria, we are not going with a third source of burn that could be Burning Stake, but instead we chose Iron Cross, because Iron Cross will bind all nearby enemies to it, so it will pile up the enemies, and this will make sure that the lethal pellet explosion will apply its burn effect to the nearby enemies. And by piling up the enemies, we will go with Blood of a Banshee, because the overkill will cause the victim to explode, igniting nearby enemies again. And Blood of a Banshee also deals explosion damage, and it knocks back minor enemies, so we have a stun, which will then make Echo deal even more damage. As our fetish, I chose You because it will give us a shield. We are gonna go in close quarter combat, and this will help us a lot. If we take some damage, You will protect us. And also collecting an orb knocks back enemies and grants a brief speed burst. So we're planning to slide around, take advantage of our speed and of all the knockbacks that we got, and then make sure that the explosions will kill the enemies. And if it's possible, we will make sure that the overkill will deal even additional damage. And as I said in the intro, we complement that with the Meteor ring, which is the first ring that has a slide effect. And what Meteor ring actually does is cause a line of fire, a trail of fire behind you, and this will also burn enemies, and it will deal damage to enemies. So you can slide into the enemies like that. It will cause a little fire trail behind you, and it will burn the enemies. So let's see that in action. If you're playing Call of Duty or familiar with playing Call of Duty, you know slide cancelling. And this is actually what we're gonna do in this run as well. We don't have slide cancelling, but we're gonna slide around as much as possible. And easy as that, you clear the first encounter. And here we have a prime example why the combination of Fire Breath, Iron Cross and Echo is so strong. It simply demolishes everything. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, how easy Echo can carry you through Witchfire. I think this is a new meta build. The combination of Fire Breath with Iron Cross might be as strong as the combination of Stormball with Burning Stake. Maybe it's even stronger if you add in Echo, but as you can see, this is a very nice build. As always guys, I hope you liked this video. Have a good one.